So today I went ahead and put on my Allen heads for the carb, so it covered all of these slide caps and all of the float bowl nuts. So that'll be a lot easier, like to get to these. Usually you just take the tank off and you can take these out if they were the screw heads, but they're kind of hard to get to the middle ones because of the frame rail and whatnot. So it'll be a lot easier with the Allen heads because you know an Allen can go in sideways and get at that. So that'll be a lot easier. I really wanted to get some for these, but I guess those don't matter because you're not really going to take those off much at all. So, but today I went ahead and got some K&N oil, filter oil, and put it on here. They didn't come oiled, from what I could tell. They didn't feel oily or look oily at all. So I went ahead and put some on there. You probably can't tell because I did such a light coat of it. I didn't really want to put much on at all because in the well, I don't know if it's the jet kit itself or if I just heard online or whatever. The more oil or the less oil you put on your filters, the more adjusting you're going to have to do. So if I would have caked that, I would have had to do more adjusting. So I knew it ran good without the oil, so I didn't want to put very much on there, just enough to catch the dust. And then I'll kind of go from there. If I realize that it's getting a little bit of dust is getting through there, then maybe next time I'll put some more oil on there, then go ahead and adjust the carbs. So, but anyway, so today I'm kind of just going through some little stuff. I'm going to try to clean up some of this wiring here. Of course, this is all behind the plate, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. I know that looks like a electrical cord from a house outlet or something, but it's not. It really runs from the battery back to a point back here, right here, so a cap comes off and I can plug in my battery charger. That's the thing I was talking about in a previous video for the battery tender. So you don't got to take I don't got to take this whole seat off and hook the clamps to it. I can just pretty much pull it in, plug it up if I need to, or you know, if I'm busy, I can come out here and plug it in. So we did rewire a lot of this whenever we went through it. Like this is new here. We kind of braided it together. Most of the other stuff we left because a lot of it was in really good shape. Eventually some of this I'm going to go through and redo. It all works fine. There's no bad connections because we did go through it all, but I'd just like to clean it up a lot more. Most of this right here is going to just be brought up into there like that and cleaned up a little bit. You know, maybe I'll put some covers or something on it and that kind of thing. So I got a lot of cleaning to do down in this area, just from the years of grease being on top of that. And now that the pod filters are on there and there's no huge air box, you can see it a lot more. So I'm going to try to clean up that a lot, and maybe eventually I'll take all this apart and paint the motor. But I really think at the moment I'm just going to run this motor until it does need a rebuild, because right now it's running great. It does have a ticking noise when it's warm, but if it's not the timing chain that needs tightened a little, which I don't think it is, it's just got to be like I don't know, something up there in the top end's just doing a little ticking. It doesn't hurt anything, and the previous owner said that he thinks all GSs do that or make that ticking sound, but I'm not so sure on it. Just because most motorcycle people would probably be wondering about that, and of course he was too. But it's nothing that's ever been a problem for it, and it doesn't get louder, it doesn't get quieter, it's just always there. So my plans with this is you can see the previous owner painted it black, and that's fine. I mean, I like it, but I'd like to have it either all black or these covers really shined up and then the rest of it black. So but like I said, I'm going to go ahead and run this motor until it does need a rebuild, and then I'm gonna swap in that motor over there, because that one right now does need a rebuild unless it has stuck rings. But I'm thinking it's not stuck rings, it's probably needs valve guides, because it does spit a little bit of oil out the exhaust. It doesn't smoke a whole lot. Well, I can't remember if it smoked at all. It may not have. I think it was just spitting oil out. So we're gonna go through that one, and that's a really nice motor there. I've already done a couple gaskets on it and replaced them. So really right now it's just the top in there, and I think it just needs valves, and I'm sure I could handle that, you know, get some of them Vidon valves, or Viton, whatever they call them. And then I'll have me a perfectly good second motor, because I mean we got that motor cranked up and running, and it was a good runner. The carbs that were on it, which were these here, just weren't rebuilt. Now they're rebuilt, obviously. So we did have the other carbs, the originals that were on here, that were running fine, and put them on there, and that's when we had it running, and it ran. It just, you know, spitting oil out the back. So we didn't go ahead and go with that motor because we're going to try to go with that frame completely and use it instead of switching everything over like I did to this one. But then of course I would have had to switch a lot of more stuff off of this one, like the gauges and the stabilizer and stuff, because that's all kind of stuff that I really have to have or really want, you know. So like I said, I'm just going to run this motor and rebuild that one in the meantime. So I don't know when I'm going to pull it out. I really want to build a stand for it. I really want a stand that's going to, you know, catch the motor up here and catch it somewhere up there. Then you can, I've seen them where you can kind of, you can flip the motor up to work on the bottom end while it's on this stand and flip it back and that kind of thing. I really want to get one of them built, but I'm going to have a better welder or fix my welder. One of the two, that big one there or that little wire feed over there is the one I really want to get going. My other little one up here, it just won't do the job. And for the type of bracing I need to hold this big of a motor and have it flipping, you know. So, but the main reason I'm making the video today, you can see my cutouts there from Christmas boxes. So I'm going to make a pattern, which I've already done off camera, and I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty much, like I said, it's going to butt up to the top of this and come all the way over here, go down pretty much to the top of this and back up, and just kind of stay smooth with this. And like, I want to try to keep it like even with this, that way you don't even see that, and of course that way it catches the mounting bolt down here. And I guess it's missing one, I didn't notice it, so I need to put I got tons of extra hardware for these bikes, so I'm going to put an extra one there, and that should be good to go. I have had a little bit of gear oil coming out when I ride. When I go riding, I park and of course pull it back in here and park. A little bit of gear oil, but I think it's because we might have overfilled this when we did it, because there's no really like filling amount on here like the other side, and I didn't really look it up. We just kind of filled it up to a certain point in there, but now when I opened it up, it's like completely up to the top. You can't see anywhere around where this, you know, drops out into the gears or whatever. You can't see anything, so I really think it's probably overfilled, and it'll probably quit dripping once it's down to the point it needs to be, so I may not do anything at all with it. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to make these side plates, and I'll kind of show you what I've got going here. So I've got this piece of stainless that I got from a friend, and I really think it's going to work perfect, because as you can see, I can fit one here. I don't know what it is used for, some kind of cover. They've drilled some holes, and on the other side they're kind of beveled out, you know, to set the screw in a little bit to make it flat. So I'm going to try to avoid this, which is going to mean a lot more cutting, but you know, it's going to be perfect. And of course I got that much more to completely flip this and do what I need to do. I don't know exactly how I'm going to cut it yet or what with. I mean, I've got a Dremel with cutting blades, which I think it would probably eat through them pretty quick, so I might just go ahead and use the some cut-off wheels for my grinder and put them on there and go ahead and cut it out. And I think that should work fine, and then I'll take it over there to the you know, the buffer grinder, just clean up the edges a little bit, and then go ahead and sand it. And I think these should be some really nice plates, and I'm glad I got this piece of metal from my buddy, so I appreciate that. If you're watching, thanks for this. And hopefully I'll get this going, and then I'm going to kind of just pause the video, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to do something. Or maybe I'll just draw the lines on here. Alright, I've got you on somewhat of a stand here. It's kind of on a small blowtorch on my clamp, but it should work fine. So pretty much these are the old plates, and they're kind of beat up, so I'm definitely not going to use them for my template, in case you're wondering. Where's my markers at? Got plenty of these. My wife gets these from work, and man, we probably got 1,000 of these Sharpies laying around, which comes in handy if you got a shop. So I'm going to try to keep it a little bit away from the edge. That way I'm not trying to smooth out these bolt holes. I'm just going to kind of cut in enough, because there's not going to be enough scrap at all left from this to even worry about keeping it. So some of these cardboard pieces are going to kind of make my lines crooked, but whenever I'm cutting, I'm just going to cut it completely straight with the cutting torch, or the cutting wheel. If I had a torch or nice cutoff torch, I'd definitely probably use that. You know, if I had a nice small one or something. Stay on my pattern here, it'd be alright. Alright, so there's one. Like I said, I just want to make it pretty much just uniform. I don't want nothing uneven or weird looking, so I'm just going to make it flat there, not try to make a point and try to do anything with that. So pretty much here, I'll just kind of flip to the other side, but you can kind of see what I got going there, just a nice straight pattern. Up here where I've kind of messed it up a little bit because of the cardboard, I'll just, you know, cut that straight like I said. Go ahead and move you to the other side here, and that way you can watch if you feel like watching me cut this. I might have enough left over here that I'll keep that. I didn't think I'd have much, but looks like I will, so I'm going to try to just cut it as close as I can and leave a little bit of a gap. I did have a few other ideas for these side plates, and I'll show you them. But as sturdy as and as thin as this stainless steel is, I think it's going to be my best option, just because it is thin and it is really sturdy. I didn't want nothing flimsy. What was on there already was kind of flimsy, which was okay. I mean, it didn't move around, but it bent easy if you caught your leg on it, which I never really did. But you know, taking it on and off, I did kind of crinkle it here and there and mess it up. So I want to use something a little more sturdy. This stainless steel should work fine because it's not going to rust. So, alright, so there's my patterns, and I'll go ahead and take it off the mount here, and then I can show you. I'll just kind of show you my mount I got rigged up. Pretty much a handlebar mount for a bike, motorcycle, whatever you want to mount your phone to, but that's pretty much what it was, and that works good. I mean, I got a couple other tripods, but I don't have one that actually holds my phone. So these were a couple other ideas. These are brand new here, but we do cook with these, and man, these are like some of the best pans. They just clean up so easily, and I was going to use these and cut some side plates out. They're pretty thin, and they probably would have been about as thin as that other. But I really think if I would have chipped it, it would have rusted pretty easy or something. I'm not sure if that may be aluminum, so that may not have rusted at all. But that was one of my options. Then I had a bunch of other stuff over here, like the previous owner gave me this piece, which I didn't think I could use it because it's kind of scrap. That's what he cut the old plates out of. So, and then there's another sign underneath of it, but I didn't really want to use that unless that was my only option, because it's curled up pretty good and it would be hard to get that back flat, and then I'm pretty much back with the same thing that I started with, those other plates. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out how to get this cut out, and then we'll continue the video. Alright, so I normally don't do any video of me doing any actual work. I'm normally filming before or after the fact, just because it's easier that way, and it takes a long time to set up the camera sometimes. So today it's not so bad setting it up, since I got this mount going. I'm going to go ahead and cut this the best I can. I've only got a couple short cutting discs that are kind of probably at least halfway used up or more, probably 75% of the way, because you know you're not going to cut past the part here. So I'm going to kind of see how this goes. I may be going to get more. So. So that didn't go too bad. You kind of see the heat from it kind of warped this. But that don't matter because I'm just cutting it off anyway. I was hoping it would cut a little bit smoother and quicker, but you almost got to just sit there and kind of grind on it. So, I think next
just doing this part right here. It's kind of easier without it hanging off the edge because it's not going to vibrate as much. Try not to put this clamp anywhere where I'm going to be using the plate, because that may bend it a little bit and cause me some kind of dent there. Alright, not too bad. Got a lot of metal flying in my face. I don't have a full shield grinding mask, which I need to pick up. So, a little bit of smoke coming from the table, but it ain't gonna hurt nothing. So I think next I'll go ahead and try to make this cut. I've got it right here, and maybe this entire cut here. See how that goes. Got the main part of it done. Just got a couple more cuts here if I don't knock the camera I think I'll go ahead and cut this part here. Thought I could get away without clamping it, but I don't think so. See if I can fit that there, that way I don't bend the metal. Oh, it's close enough, didn't we? Alright, so for the most part it's done. Got that cut and all that right there. Which shouldn't be too big a deal at all. Try to clamp it. Just like that. not much left of my disc, but it should be enough to cut that off, and then I'll probably just use the grinder on this because there's not really much of an edge there to cut. I think she's spent. Have to put a clamp over here too.
Just so you know, you can try anything. Really? Yeah.
So I guess now I'm going to go ahead and stop the video because I'm going to go ahead and take it over to the grinder and clean it up over there. So there's my 2 plates done. Go ahead and test fit them to the bike. It doesn't really matter which side they're on yet because I haven't drilled any holes. So kind of see they're going to be somewhere right in there like that. There may be one that fits one side a little better, but I doubt it because I've cut them both the same. So you can see I may have to bend that around a little bit, give it some kind of contour, just kind of sit there, and then of course that in there, go back too. So I'll see what I can come up with and continue the video. Here's what I came up with. I may end up rounding these edges a little bit here and all over them. I wasn't gonna, but now that I'm looking at it, I may end up rounding it. But I definitely got what I want. It does tuck up under there. And when this is tight, it'll be just like that because I've bent it quite a bit now. But like I said, I may go and round those corners off, at least a little bit, you know, so they're not just pointy. And mainly the angle I don't like is right here. This up here, I don't care if it hits the frame, but being right there, I don't like that being pointy down there. There's that one. And here's this one. So it'll definitely tuck up under there like I wanted. And pretty much be right where I want it. I may have to trim that a little bit. It looks like my hole might have been a little bit low. But anyway, I'm going to round those corners a bit and fit it a little bit more. Alright, so it's a couple days later now from whenever I made the videos you just watched before this. Got my plates all done. I've kind of thrown some stickers on there that I had extra here to see what they look like because I really want something like that on there. I've actually got some more ordered. I've ordered a couple more of those and a couple of some different ones that I might try on here. But I kind of like the look of this on there. Doesn't look too awful bad, so I might either double it up and put the same thing on the other side or do some of the other ones I got ordered. So, but I think it looks pretty good on there with the color and everything. But I'll kind of talk about the side plates now, because you can see they're obviously done and painted up. So pretty much that's what I was going for. I really wanted to cover up most all of this, how the, you know, so there's no, you can't see the actual metal part of the frame behind here hanging through. I mean, you can see this part, but I really didn't want to try to contour to that, because it probably would have looked a little bit awkward. But then again, this is what I was going for too, to kind of get it to tuck under there and then to bend forward this way with this shape here. So, and it's hard to do a lot of this without all the special tools. I mean, I've got all kinds of, you know, things to cut it, but I don't have a welder or the proper things you need to cut this stuff absolutely perfect. So, but for this bike, it'll be good. That stainless steel painted really smooth onto there, so I'm happy that painted so smooth and looks pretty good. So that's what this side looks like. I'll kind of step back a little bit, and the other side, I've just used the other part of the decal that went with that other decal on the other plate, and I kind of just separated them to see what it would look like. And I like the stripes right there. I mean, they don't look too bad, but I really think it looks better with that Metal Militia skull on there. So there you can see I've kind of done the same thing over here, just pretty much got it to where it would tuck in, and then it's bent forward up here. So, but I think it came out pretty good for the materials I had on hand. So I think it's going to look good and going to work pretty good. I may do something different later on. I don't know. This is just what I've got for now. It definitely looks better than the other plates that were on there. That, and I think that now that they're gray instead of black, it kind of gives it a little bit more of a color contrast rather than everything being black. So, but yep, let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm not a professional garage or nothing by no means, so this is all just done by hand in a little garage. So, done the cheap way, as cheap as it can be. So, just got my battery charger hooked up because it's really cold out, and I don't plan on riding for a while. I've got stabilizer in the tank, and my engine is I'm thinking that there might be a gasket out inside there that separates the drive over here, because that's like this side you pour in the gear oil for the rear drive, and then the other side is for like your engine and clutch plates, and I think the transmission's all on that side too. I think I got some kind of gasket out in there, because I'm getting a lot of whenever I park the bike, I'm getting a lot of dripping under it from the gear oil, and I was thinking I overfilled it, but I really don't think we did. But I think the oil is coming from this side and going over there, which isn't too bad. I mean, it could be worse. It could be coming the other way and coming into my motor, but it's not. It's going into the gear oil, which ain't too bad. But I've actually put some AT205 reseal in there. I'll see if I can find the bottle. I put some of this in there. This stuff has pretty good reviews on it. And what this does is, if I can get it to focus, I think this side's in English anyway. So this side tells you everything that it does and what it seals up. So, and this will actually redo your seals and make them more supple and stretch them out a little bit. See, it softens and expands the seals and prevents future leaks. So this stuff has pretty good reviews. You might look it up and check it out in case you need something like that. It's about $10 on Amazon, but you're going to pay about $17 with shipping. So, but that's what I've put in there. I had it put in this side, half the bottle into the gear side, and then half the bottle into the other side. So that way, I guess it'll get it either way, and then it'll get it over whatever seals are in the other side and kind of redo them seals a little bit. Nothing else, that case will have to be split, but it's nothing that's going to hurt it running it like that. It just means I'm probably going to have to change my oil a little more. But I can kind of show you the seal here. I'm not going to completely split this case because you got to take it all out. But there's a seal right back there. My finger's pointed right at it. Right there, there's a seal. There's a metal piece there and then a seal right behind it. And that's the seal that's out right now. And that's how the oil's getting over into this side. Because pretty much when you fill it up, you're filling all the oil into this area. And this little back area
back area only, and then, you know, you got a seal here and a seal here. So that's where the leak's at, and that's the seal that needs replaced. But in order to do that, you got to take the whole motor out and split it. But before I would ever do that, I would pretty much do the top end on this one and get this one ready, and then pretty much put this motor into this bike, and then go ahead and fix this motor. So pretty much I've got 3 motors, because I've got every single part that goes to that one in these boxes over here. Of course it needs rebuilt and all that, but I have it all, and that's always good to have plenty of extra stuff. So that's where I'm at now. Let me know what you think of the side plates. They're kind of a homemade dealie, which, you know, of course I made that homemade and everything. The tank was previously made, well, not made, but dented in and that kind of thing. So I just pretty much did some Bondo on it, which it does need redone. You can see some flat spots in it, and then the paint. I didn't sand the primer on it. I didn't think I had to, but obviously I needed to now, because it's kind of showing some dimples on there. And that's not from how the paint dried or anything like that. That's just because I didn't sand the primer. So now you're seeing the primer that needed sanding. So pretty much the paint laid flat on top of it, and just pretty much kept the same effect. I mean, it's not bad. It looks a little rugged. I mean, it looks pretty durable with that on there, but I'd really rather it be smooth, like how this is smooth and how these plates are smooth. So yeah, just let me know what you think, and the next videos will hopefully be riding videos. I don't have too much more planned. I do have an oil gauge that I'm getting that's gonna pretty much attach right here, and it'll be an oil pressure gauge, and it'll attach right there, and then I'll have a little oil gauge on it. And got some other stuff ordered. I've got a little sock for this, a little Suzuki sock to go over this and kind of cover this up a bit, make that look a little bit better. And let's see, what else do I got ordered? I think just some stickers, and probably about it. So like I said, some different decals to go on the side, because I like those, but I'm really wanting to keep more something like this on both sides. I think that kind of matches with it. So alright, well, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody watching, all the views and stuff, and I don't get a whole lot of comments, so if you feel like commenting, go ahead. If not, no big deal. Thanks for watching.